This is such a bad idea.
What is?
How much pressure do you feel from the fans?
I haven't really said much, but now it's time.
I'm being framed for murder.
How much worse can it get?
Nikki, one thing I've learned working for you is things can always get worse.
Hello, and thanks for your company. Today, from the French debut of gay hockey romance Heated Rivalry to a fresh documentary series revisiting America's Next Top Model, plus a fan favourite legal drama making waves once again, February is lining up to be a powerhouse month for rich, character-driven television. And Dheepthika Laurent joins us to break it all down for us. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi.
For this month's TV show. Let's begin then with Heated Rivalry, now streaming in France.
Yeah, I might say finally streaming in France, because it feels like we've been talking about this show for months. The Canadian series did arrive, was released last year, but it's arrived now in France this February. It's based on the book called Game Changers by Rachel Reed. The series has taken the world by storm. It's also shifted the dial on homosexuality in sports, particularly the masculine world of ice hockey. So the story follows the rivals to lovers romance between Canadian wonder kid Shane Hollander and Russian prodigy Ilya Rozanov. They're two new major stars of the major hockey league. It stars Hudson Williams and Connor Story, respectively, who have become veritable stars in their own right thanks to the show. They've been seen at fashion shows, at Grammys after parties. They were even torchbearers for the Winter Olympics.
Wow, and apparently even the Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney is a fan. Let's take a look.
This is a show that only could be made with Canada, with Canadian talent, Canadian writers, a little help from Canadian funding, and a story that reflects the best of Canada. I mean, hockey, diversity, celebrating who we are, loving who we want to love. I mean, it means the world, and obviously it's fantastic that it's successful. But I think the fundamental thing that it got made in Canada.
Ты что, встречаешься?
Yeah.
So, what's my name gonna be?
Даже не с Джейн?
Dream.
Вы уже несколько лет переписываетесь. Я думала, может быть, это что-то серьезное или...
This is such a bad idea.
What is?
How much pressure do you feel from the fans, from the hockey world in general?
I find it hard being so high profile.
So, Eve, the show has had a far-reaching impact. In fact, Vanity Fair explains that watching the show, and in particular its Russian lead, has become a, quote, act of rebellion and hope among the LGBTQ community in Putin's homophobic Russia.
Wow, does it live up to the hype then?
Well, it does. I mean, it's tantalizingly addictive. It plays to everything we love, secret romance, stolen glances, two very good-looking leads, very thirsty sex scenes as well. I must say, Connor Story, who plays Ilya, the Russian ice hockey player, is incredible because he's actually American and he learned all this Russian dialogue for the role, and it is really, really impressive. He speaks in Russian and English, but it's incredible what he did. What I also really liked is how delicately it treats the topic of sex. There's a lot of focus on consent. There's a very artful portrayal of nudity in the show as well, and it's interesting and heartbreaking also to see how their story plays out in a sport where the idea of being gay is almost unfathomable.
Well, it's easy to see why it sparks such powerful conversations about homosexuality in sport then. Well, let's move on to Netflix, which is turning its attention to another cultural game changer from the 2000s, Tyra Banks' America's Next Top Model.
Yeah, that's right. This show was hugely successful in its first edition in 2003. It also spawned many offshoots in different countries. So the series saw a group of aspiring models living together and competing against each other for the ultimate crown of America's Next Top Model. We saw them do outrageous shoots. We saw them get makeovers and even go on go-sees with prospective clients. But behind the scenes, Tyra Banks and the show's execs were accused of exploiting the girls for profit. This series explores that dark underbelly of the show, featuring Tyra Banks, former jury members, and contestants. Take a look.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
I haven't really said much, but now it's time.
Fashion, model, art.
On America's Next Top Model, we were showing the behind the scenes of what the fashion world was.
I wanted to fight against the fashion industry.
That was a moment where I realized, oh my God, I think we built a monster.
There was a lot of body shaming. You're not thin enough. You're not thin enough.
We are actually going to switch your ethnicities.
Oh, baby girl, baby girl.
Dipti, that trailer looks explosive. How controversial is it going to get?
It is pretty controversial. Even one thing to note is the reason that this documentary is even happening is because the series gained a lot of traction in 2020 during the pandemic when Gen Z viewers were watching it, many of them for the first time, and many of them then were horrified. They took to social media to condemn what they saw and what was really, in hindsight, overt body shaming, fat phobia, homophobia, and racism. The series reminds us, for instance, in one season, Tyra and the judges essentially blackmailed a contestant into getting dental surgery to fix a front tooth gap. Having watched the episodes, I found it rather jarring how indifferent Tyra Banks appears to the criticism. You know, the response she gives every time seems to be, oh, it was a different era, we should have done better. She doesn't seem awfully apologetic for what were very questionable actions on the show, particularly the way she handled allegations of a rape in one episode.
This is clearly very topical at the moment because there's another documentary series which is called Rotten Scandals, tackling the controversies of America's Next Top Model, that's out next month. How's it going to differ from the Netflix version?
Well, this series will air on E! Entertainment Channel next month. It's a series that will look at controversies in all reality shows, including an episode dedicated to America's Next Top Model. It'll be leaning on notably experiences from Lisa D'Amato. She was a memorable contestant who in 2006 accused America's Next Top Model of having exploited her childhood trauma. It also features Janice Dickinson, who was one of the more outspoken judges on the show. Tyra Banks, though, is not attached to this version, so it'll be interesting to see what they have to say and how it differs to the Netflix version.
Okay, well, let's take a look then at Rotten Scandals.
America's Next Top Model really tortured these girls for Tyra Banks' ego.
Tyra had the ability to make or break you.
The Price is Right was a place that was very much about retaliation.
These new documentary series, Dirty Rotten Scandals.
They were really good at casting someone who was struggling with something.
Well, that was from Rotten Scandals. Staying with Netflix then, season 4 of its procedural law drama, The Lincoln Lawyer, is out.
I love this show. I really love this show. It's a glossy legal drama. It centers on hotshot defense lawyer Mickey Haller, who literally works out of his Lincoln car and he can talk his way out of any case. Each season is based on one or two major cases that sort of build up over the episodes. This season, though, tries something new. Haller will have, he himself has become a suspect in a murder. He'll have to prove his own innocence this time. Take a look.
How's he doing today? Psychotically optimistic, and I kind of want to choke him.
I know that guy.
I'm being framed for murder.
How much worse can it get?
Mickey, one thing I've learned working for you is things can always get worse.
People versus Michael Haller.
Dana Berg for the people, Your Honor.
I'm not gonna lie, she is really tough.
Sam was running a long con. We find out what Sam was up to and with who. I want to keep it off Dana Berg's radar.
Good morning, Mr. Haller.
Well, it certainly looks enthralling. How does season 4 fare?
Well, I think this is my favorite season yet. I've watched all 4 seasons now. Very clever storytelling to have Mickey as a defendant this time. You finally see this confident, smooth character start to crack under the pressure, and it's really interesting to see how his experience is being on the other side of the courtroom. Now, this season also had an urgency that we didn't see in the previous seasons, and I also felt it was a little bit less flippant. It was a bit more serious. Manuel Garcia Rulfo, who plays the main character, Mickey Hall, he's a Mexican-American character. He sort of slips between English and Spanish in his role. He's very charismatic. He really drives this season, and it was nice to see that. Great supporting cast, too. There's Neve Campbell from the Scream franchise, who plays his ex-wife. Look, it's a bit predictable. It's a bit cheesy at times. It's kind of something I like about it. If you like, Suits, for instance, then you'll love this kind of show.
You know what? I've never watched it. I have to put it on my list. Next, though, this one makes me ridiculously happy. Disney Plus has brought back the Muppets for a one-off special, and the reviews are glowing.
Indeed. This is produced by Seth Rogen, who seems to have the Midas touch right now, Eve, because his comedy, The Studio, won a whole heap of Emmys last year. Well, he's producing this special, which revives the 1970s Muppet Show for one special night. Perpetually stressed out Kermit the Frog is trying to put on a show, but he's overbooked, and now chaos is reigning. Miss Piggy gets jealous of pop star Sabrina Carpenter. There's a Bridgerton spoof and lots of good music to boot. It briefly got a 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, charming audiences with its joyful chaos. And given how successful this special was, it may well pave the way now for a series.
Well, let's hope so, because who doesn't need a dose of pure unapologetic silliness right now? Let's end on a high then. Here's a look at the Muppets, now streaming on Disney Plus this month. Thank you so much, Dipti, for taking us through this month's TV releases. It's been a pleasure, and thank you for watching. See you next time.
Oh, Rolf, have you been playing this whole time?
Well, what'd you think it was? Some kind of sentimental montage in your head? We're doing the show again, Frog.
Oh, that's right.
Oh my God, it's you. You're my idol.
You're sweet. Go on.
I grew up watching you. My parents grew up watching you. Their parents grew up watching you.
We are so excited to be back where it all started and then ended and then is maybe starting again, depending on how tonight goes.
I've been burned before.
It's the Muppet Show, and it starts